Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood and sports updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Today we bring you a story of pure inspiration, dramatic resilience, and the echo of history being made under the hallowed skies of Wimbledon as the women's final unfolded in a match that was not simply about a trophy or rankings, but about the lives, sacrifices, and silent battles of two extraordinary athletes, Iga Swiatek of Poland and Amanda Anisimova of the United States. As center court pulsed with nervous anticipation, with dignitaries, celebrities, former champions, and fans crowding the stands, the world watched these two women step onto the grass, their footsteps falling on the same sacred ground where legends from Navratilova to Serena Williams have written their stories in sweat and tears. And for Iga Swiatek, already a 5-time Grand Slam champion but still chasing her first Wimbledon crown, this was a moment loaded with destiny because despite her dominance on clay and hard courts, grass had always been her elusive challenge. The surface where her flowing baseline power met its toughest test, and today, in the ultimate test against Amanda, and she sought not just victory, but validation of her adaptability, her patience, and her undying will to evolve, while on the other side of the net stood Anisimova, the young American whose journey to this final was itself a story worthy of a Hollywood script. Because here was a woman who had known darkness and despair early in her career, who had lost her father and coach during her teenage years, who faced crippling anxiety and emotional exhaustion that forced her to step away from the sport she loved, but who returned with a determination forged in grief and rebirth. And as she stood ready to face Swiatek under the British sun that broke through soft drifting clouds, she carried within her the memory of every sacrifice her family made, every moment she fought to rediscover her confidence, every tear shed in hotel rooms when loneliness became unbearable. And she knew, as Swiatek knew, that today was not simply a final but a reckoning with their own destinies. And as the match began, each rally felt like a prayer offered to the gods of tennis, with Swiatek moving gracefully across the court, her footwork light yet purposeful, striking each ball with devastating precision, her eyes locked onto Anisimova like a hawk tracking its prey, while Anisimova countered with fearless aggression, her backhand down the line cutting through the air like a blade, her forehand drives echoing with the sound of defiance, and the crowd, sensing the intensity of this psychological battle, roared with each winner, gasped with each miss, the tension climbing higher with every passing game. Because in this final, there was no clear victor until the very last point was played. And as the first set slipped away to Swiatek 6-3, Anisimova retreated to her chair, head bowed, gripping her racket tightly, whispering words of self-belief that only she could hear, because in that moment, her mind replayed every coach's warning, every commentator's doubt that she was too inexperienced for this stage. But she breathed deeply, eyes closing to shut out the noise of center court. And when she rose for the second set, she rose transformed, striking with a fearlessness born of nothing left to lose. Breaking Swiatek, her screams of triumph echoing across the grounds like war cries. And for 45 minutes she played perhaps the best tennis of her life, painting lines with her serves, sprinting for impossible retrievals, ripping winners that sent the crowd surging to their feet in a standing ovation, and when she clinched the second set 6-4, leveling the match, tears filled her eyes because she realized she was no longer just a talented player. She was a warrior worthy of this stage. But the third set became a crucible, a test of mind and body, as both women dug deep into reserves of energy, belief, and desire, and Wyatt, eyes fierce and unblinking, unleashed her championship mentality, playing each point with ruthless efficiency, unafraid to step inside the baseline and finish rallies early, while Anisimova fought back with unbreakable resolve, forcing deuce after deuce, refusing to concede even as her legs trembled with exhaustion, and the final games became almost unbearable to watch as tension turned to agony for fans on both sides. Mothers covering their mouths, fathers gripping their children's shoulders, coaches frozen in disbelief. The entire arena filled with a silence so heavy that even the thud of each ball felt like thunder. Until finally, AT match point. Witek tossed the ball into the pale summer sky, her serve slicing wide, Anisimova lunging in desperation, her return looping high, giving Witek all the time she needed to step in and drive a forehand winner down the line. And as the ball kissed the grass within the baseline, it was over, and Witek fell to her knees, hands covering her face as tears poured freely. Because in that moment, she was not simply the Wimbledon champion. She was the woman who proved to herself that her dreams could conquer her doubts, that her sacrifices were worth it, that the girl from Poland who grew up dreaming of center court had arrived at her rightful place. While on the other side, Amanda Anisimova walked to the net with tears of her own. Because though she had lost, in truth, she had won something deeper, the knowledge that she belonged here, that she could stand toe-to-toe with the best in the world and not flinch. And as Witek lifted the Venus rosewater dish high above her head, her sobs echoing with the joy of fulfilled destiny, Anisimova smiled through her tears, applauding her opponent, the crowd rising as one to honor them both, because this final was not just a tennis match, it was a testament to the power of human resilience, of dreams chased through darkness into light, of warriors who rise each morning despite fear, ready to fight again. And as the sun set over Wimbledon, casting golden light across the emerald grass, fans left with full hearts, carrying with them the memory of a final that will be spoken of for generations as the day when two brave women reminded the world why we watch sports, why we celebrate champions, and why we never give up on our own dreams no matter how impossible they may seem.